everybody, it's Honest John again. When the Mueller report was first turned over to Bob Barr, before any of it became public, he issued a 4-page summary, which it turned out was not a summary at all. In fact, it was the exact opposite of what the report said. So I guess he figured, and probably Trump too, figured that if they got that story out first, then that would be what would stick with the public. Since then, the redacted portion of the report has come out, and it makes clear that Barr was simply lying. He's about to testify before Congress, and I'm sure the Democrats are going to rake him over the coals on account of that. The report was, in fact, the exact opposite of what Barr said it was. But for a few weeks, Trump and his lackeys claimed that he had been completely cleared. Then their tone changed when they found out that a little bit more of the report was going to be released than they would like. Then they started attacking Bob Mueller again. And so even though a lot of information, including grand jury testimony and stuff that's related to other investigations, is still secret, what came out was pretty damaging to Trump. Even though they couldn't prove that Trump committed the crime of conspiracy, the report does detail a pattern of collusion with the Russians and WikiLeaks by Trump's son Donald Jr., his son-in-law Jared Kushner, and others in the Trump circle, including Mike Flynn, Paul Manafort, Eric Prince, Roger Stone, etc. So Trump's claim of no collusion is obviously false. The report also lists in detail actions Trump took to interfere with the investigation. So that's obstruction of justice. And the only reason that he wasn't indicted for that is because the Justice Department guidelines say you can't indict a sitting president. It's not that he didn't commit any crimes, it's just that he can't be indicted. In fact, it is clear that he did commit crimes. But the Democrats are not rushing headlong into impeachment just yet, which is smart of them. Instead, they are continuing to investigate the crimes detailed in the Mueller report and other crimes which are not. Now, Trump's response has been to stonewall. He is refusing to comply with any subpoenas, even though Congress does have the right to supervise him. And he is trying to prevent Mueller and other people from testifying in front of Congress. He won't be able to do that because his claims of executive privilege, for example, have already been waived for people like Don McGahn, who was interviewed by Mueller. So the Democrats are going to be able to bring those people into Congress and question them, and most likely it's going to be in public hearings, which will be very embarrassing for Trump. But this stonewalling, what Trump is basically trying to do is to bait the Democrats into impeaching him. He thinks that it might be a political trap for them. This is because when the Republicans impeached Bill Clinton, they lost popularity and Clinton became much more popular. And the GOP got creamed in the next election. So Trump is hoping that that will work for him in the same way. But there's a question of whether that will. I mean, the circumstances around the Clinton impeachment are much different than what's shadowing Trump. So right now there's no way to answer that question. But what Trump doesn't understand is that the Democrats can start holding impeachment hearings without actually bringing articles of impeachment up to vote in the House. And if they do that, then then those hearings become a legal procedure, and a lot of the objections to the subpoenas become moot, become overruled, because it is a legal proceeding rather than just a hearing. And Congress can force the testimony of some people by finding those who refuse in contempt of Congress and even putting people in jail. Their problem is that Trump has appointed 2 justices to the Supreme Court who will side with him no matter what. And the other conservative justices are likely to side with Trump, even though they would take the exact opposite position if a Democrat were in the White House. So we can't really rely on the integrity of the courts anymore, but it's been a long time since we've been able to rely on that. But we can rely on the integrity of the press, which will continue digging into Trump's criminality. So for the foreseeable future, Congress, with their investigations, and the press with theirs, will continue to uncover a lot of stuff about Trump. Scandals relating to the Trump administration and to Trump personally. For example, right now, the press is investigating whether Trump paid for as many as 15 abortions for women that he got pregnant. Now, this isn't a crime, but if proven to be true, it could weaken Trump's support among evangelicals and other conservative religious groups. Also, there are a number of trials coming up of people like Roger Stone and others, which Mueller referred to other agencies. And those could unearth information that will be damaging to Trump. Whether or not they might damage Trump enough so that the general public would be in favor of impeachment, well, nobody knows for sure. But even though nothing would turn Trump's hardcore supporters against him, they are not enough to get him reelected. If enough information comes out, and there will be a lot of it, about Trump's criminality, he could be defeated in a landslide in the next election and take the Republican Party down with him. Thanks for listening. Well, I want to thank you all for watching my videos. But there are certain changes that Google has made to YouTube, which, since I'm a smaller channel, means that I can't monetize my videos. So I found places where I can. So instead of watching my videos here on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you go either to Patreon or to Top Buzz. They let me monetize videos, and I don't even have to put commercials on. So, if you want to become a patron on Patreon, that's fine. If you don't, you can still watch the videos there. I've just kind of given up on YouTube. YouTube is just a place that I use so that I can put my videos in other places. So, Patreon, Top Buzz, the links are in the description box. Thanks a lot.